Hello. Welcome back to Bump Love this week. We're so happy to have you here. If you're looking for content on motherhood, womanhood, parenthood, anything to do with being a woman, subscribe, like, and join us for this week's episode. Ladies, how are you doing? How was your week?
Energizing. It really was energizing. Thank you.
I like energy.
I had a good week.
I did. Nice. Yeah. That's nice. You're not part of the Kampala people suffering, clearly.
No.
Anyway.
How was yours?
Oh, mine was busy. Okay. But busy is good.
Yeah.
I like busy. It was good. So, knowing what's happening in town, in the country, in our lives as adults, tell me, if you came back, if you had a second chance to come back, what would you come back as? Reincarnation, second life, whatever you want to call it. What would you come back
Yeah,
as?
those questions so many times. I'm just like, what do you answer? Cockroach?
Some people say a
Mosquito?
man.
A man? But you don't have to give birth, right? You have to come back as a man. Huh. I don't know. Okay. I love my life. I look at everything. I'm like, would I want to be a man? No. I like my hips. I like my bums. I like my... I just love being a woman. I just like being soft. I just like being... I enjoy being a woman. I enjoy being Manuela. Maybe I wouldn't be born in Uganda.
Okay.
Because this Uganda, this UG, I don't know. I think I would like to be born. No, you know what? I would be the daughter of a very rich man who gets married to a very rich man. I'd never have to work a day in my life. I think that if I were to come back, because in this life, I've worked.
I tell you.
Worked. And you're still working.
And I'm still working. So if given an opportunity to come back, I don't want to work. I just want to come and just be beautiful, have a small waist. I'm just like a queen. I don't have to work a day in my life. Yeah. From the time I'm born to the day I go back to come back for my third life.
All right.
Babe.
I would come back as myself.
Hey.
But with so much money and access to travel to any country I want to. Because I believe that the dream of me going to every nation in the world, diplomatic immunity for myself and my children, must be accomplished, and that's whom I want to come back as.
But you're going to
With
do that
access
in
to
this.
so
You're going to do that in this
much.
life, babe.
But I feel
Those
I'm
are all
also
possible
working
things
too
you're
hard
talking
for it.
about.
Oh, maybe.
I don't want to have to work too hard for it, or to budget and say we can only stay in a 4-star hotel, not 7-star.
Right. Yeah.
You want to choose where you stay based on
The freedom of
do they
choice.
have this? Do they have this?
The
Price
freedom
comes
of choice.
afterwards.
Yes, I want to go where I want, not where I need to.
Or where you have to because your
Yes.
pocket.
You're like,
Yes.
let's just settle. No, I think I'd come back as myself, as a woman, but as a gospel artist.
Okay.
What?
Guys, I like music, and then sometimes when I'm listening to that music, the gospel music, I imagine myself on stage. I imagine myself with all the glam and the hundreds and thousands of people watching me, and I'm the one singing for God.
And slaying.
And slaying, and people are falling. And
People are getting healed.
people are getting healed, saying, I went for the concert lame, now I'm walking. But then I feel like it's one of the things that comforts me, that
Yes.
gives me joy, that makes me happy. So I'm like, I want to be the one who wakes up in the morning. All I have to do is sing
Yes.
for God.
Wow.
Yeah. So if I
Making
came back, that's what I'd like to come back.
Yes.
Anyway, while we are still in this life,
Yeah.
in this current life,
Yeah.
there's this whole concept of adulting. Everybody seems to be, sometimes you ask someone, how are you? And they're like, adulting. We sort of have definitions for it
Yes.
and understand maybe what the person means. When they say adulting, they mean difficult life.
Yes.
Right.
We've seen t-shirts being
Yeah.
printed of adulting is a scam, and the people wearing it are so happy. We've seen posts on social media and people are saying, if you haven't yet left your parents' home, wait.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing out here that's
Yeah.
good. So with all these stories of adulting and all, what has been your experience of adulting? What's your story?
Barbara asks tough questions, knowing we only have 1 hour.
Right.
She does this all the time. I'm going to read it in 5 lines of a poem to explain. because it's vast. It's not my poem. It's not my poem. This is a poem called If by Rudyard Kipling. It's not my poem. But with adulting, this summarizes how I feel and my experience. May I?
Yeah.
Rudyard Kipling, If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. If you can walk with crowds and keep your virtue, walk with kings and not lose the common touch. These are a few words of the poem If, and that's been my experience.
Yeah.
Adulting does not necessarily mean phasing from 18 and above. 18 and 21 are the legal ages for adults, but we know that some people in their 40s have not yet perceived what it means to be responsible and taken their duty with accountability. Because adulting means being accountable, being responsible. There are 16-year-olds who have been shoved into the space of adulting because of circumstances. Parents died, guardians died, they had to fend. And therefore adulting is not necessarily turning 18 or 21, but it's being accountable, being responsible. It doesn't have to be an ugly word, but it does come with challenges. And for me, that's what it has been, maintaining an emotional intelligence. Because there are times when I want to wail and scream and throw tantrums like a 2-year-old. But I'm aware I have children, and having children took me into the space of adulting in ways I was not ready for. But every day I learn. All right? So for me, my experience has really been with children, knowing I have to keep my emotional intelligence in check. Knowing, just like Rudyard Kipling said, when I'm walking with nobles or with a common man, I don't lose my virtue. Because my validation is not from where I am or how much money I earn. My validation is from who I am. And I constantly have to remind myself, who am I? Adulting doesn't have to be ugly. It's where I am now. And I've learned that emotional intelligence is key, and being responsible for other children is what has really raised my level of responsibility. Thanks for the question, Barbara.
It gets you.
Really? But thank you. It really does bring a lot to light.
It makes you think a lot. It makes you think a lot. You know, when I was thinking about it, that sentiment that you made, that, you know, adulting is not necessarily when you're 18 and above, now you're an adult. It's like there's becoming an adult, then there's the process of adulting. It's like there are two different things. And what I've experienced is I became an adult for sure, but I wasn't adulting. And I think I started adulting when I started to discover who I am. Because life happens to you, you begin to adult when you start to be cognizant of life. And what life is doing, because other times you're just moving with the flow, and you're just going with the wind, and you're going with the water, and you're going. It's until you look back and you say, but hold up, I came from there. I wanted to go there. What am I doing here? Then you start walking towards this river that's flowing in this direction. You're wondering how you entered this tributary, and you're supposed to be going that side. Now adulting has begun. Now you are going through the motions of who you are on the inside. You're going through the motions of who you are in context with the environment that you're in. Because who I am with the three of you is different from who I am when I'm with another set of other friends. So who you are in the context of different environments, in the context of different people. If you are in this job vis-a-vis that job, who would you be, right? After you're done with that, now you ask yourself, about the people most important to me. Are they the ones that are supposed to be with me? Are they supposed to be walking with me? Should that be my really close friend now? For me to be able to get to that river, that side of the river where I was supposed to be. Is Barbara the right person? Is Bev the right person? Asking yourself those
critical questions,
difficult questions. That's when you realize you've started to adult. When you realize that I'm making so much money, but I'm not happy. You're like, why? How is it? Or I'm doing something that I absolutely love, but I'm so poor. I have no money.
You have
I
nothing to show
have
for
nothing
it.
to show for it.
Yeah.
Then you have children, and then you're getting a divorce. You're like, but I swear to God, I loved you 10 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
I laid my life down for you, but now wait, we are getting a divorce. How did we get here?
Yeah.
Or even, I'm getting married the third time. You're like, I used to sit and judge people and say, now see you. Third marriage. Now I am the one.
I am she.
Like I am she.
Yes.
The things that you used to despise,
Yes.
the things that you used to uphold, then you realize they're happening to you. Yo, I never ever thought that I could ever be in a fight with my friends.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yes.
we're like the sweetest people in the world. How is it that
Young and free.
young and free, and we're having a blast? How is it that they are calling me to a meeting and this is like, but Manila, no, you know, no. And I'm like, I'm the chick. I'm the one who, my God, you know. So you come into that place where who real life happens.
Yeah.
Not the one that's in your head, not the one that you dreamt of, not the one that
Not
you
the
thought of,
fantasy.
not the fantasy. You realize that the dream car you always wanted, you got it, but you had to work hard.
Yes.
Because when you are dreaming, you are not working. You are just sleeping and you're just wondering and you're like, look at me, I've come out. Hey, you now realize to get the car, you've stepped on some people's toes, you've had to work twice as hard,
Made
you've
very
had to
difficult
make
choices.
difficult decisions. Now you're not sleeping at night. By the time the dream car comes, you look at it, you're like, now what I've gone through
To get
just
you.
to get you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, now even I don't even know if I'm still dreaming. Even your dream husband or wife, he comes, you dreamt of him, he was tall, dark and handsome. And he
rich.
rich. But it's bad mannered. Why? That is when adulting has started.
Yeah.
That's when you get it. Navigating that for me has been my experience. I'm like, you mean I'm those women? How is it? I mean, I was those girls who used to say, you know, I don't think I need wigs. But now my hair is short and kinky. I need wigs.
Thank you.
Now I'm the one dressing the wigs. And you know what? Enjoying. I'm like,
Thank you. Like,
how am I that? How am I that?
Yeah.
Manila? I wore makeup for the very first time in my life on my wedding. But I can swear to you that by the time I was going, I went kicking. My legs, I was fighting. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Now who can remove
you're
me from the
immersed in
makeup?
it.
I'm like,
Oh.
I thought I would be those women who come naturally beautiful.
Yeah.
Like they just come, they sing.
African beauty.
African beauty, and they're just like, hi, yo, I'm the one of makeup. I'm like, how did I get here? Yeah, so.
Speaking of navigating, I feel like my adulting journey or experience has been like water rafting.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
So that everybody, I haven't done it. I don't even think I have the courage to
I
do it.
have,
You
and I'll
have.
tell you you're correct.
Thank you.
You're correct. That is a correct
that-
image.
Yes. So everybody I've spoken to
Yes.
says when they're going, it's exciting. They're like, guys, we're going to do this. They feel the adrenaline before they get there. Even as they're getting the gear on, they're getting the car boat, or what is it called?
The raft.
The raft on. It's exciting. They get into the water. It's nice. So that's how I was. My 18th birthday, 21st birthday. I'm like, hey, now I can take charge of my life. I'm an adult. I can do what I want. I was getting into the raft. Then you start to go down. Then I'm told at some point when you're going down the falls, the water, you're screaming,
It's like a
you want to
lifeboat
get
raft.
out.
It actually
Yes.
comforts you because it's a lifeboat.
Yeah.
And you feel comforted, but what you're saying is so correct.
Yes. So and then the instructors or the lifesavers are there saying, don't release it.
So
hold
many
it."
instructions.
So many instructions coming at the same time. So I feel like that's what my adulting has been like.
Right.
I'm a businesswoman. I'm running like 3 different businesses. Each one comes with a different lesson.
Right.
I've had to learn about people. I've had to learn customer service, dealing with people, understanding that some people will come to you with the intention to cheat, and you've sort of got to read it. You have to get the CEO's intuition with you. Then there is motherhood. Then there is navigating marriage.
Yeah.
Then there is navigating being a friend, because you still have all these things happening to you, but you're a friend. Then you're a daughter. Then you're a sister. Then you have civic duty, because we all are in the world to do some work
Some
for God.
good.
Thank you. And then everything, now I feel like now we've reached the point where we are going down the falls. And you may die, you may not die, but you have that.
Yeah.
So God is my raft.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even when I'm not sure whether we're going to get to the bottom or not, but the raft is holding. So really for me, that's what adulting has been.
You know, you make such a good... That rafting, Brian has told me about it. I mean, Brian went once, he said, I'll never go back. And he says, you know, there's a point at which we go and even the raft just goes, zoo.
Thank you.
Like you.
Yes,
Then
you're overturned.
You're like,
But they
how
warn
did
you.
They
They
do.
tell you that's the rapid, and they give you a chance. Would you like to go to the lifeboat? They ask you 3 times. You make a decision. Adrenaline junkies will go all the way, but I'll tell you, you are going to be flipped. And the thing is, you notice it coming. So you're in the boat. The good thing is, as you said, God, there's a lifeboat there in case of anything, and there are kayakers, who are the angels, to take a hold of you in case of anything. But you won't be flipped over. It doesn't matter how strong you swim.
Don't you feel like so many things have flipped us over in this
do.
adulting?
Yes.
Something
And you
happens,
see it coming.
flips you over. Yes. It flips you over and you're like, how did I get here?
How did I get here?
And not only how did you get there, then how did you overcome it? Because adulting is about overcoming.
Right.
And there's
but you've
situations
gone
you saw
overcoming too fast. Babe, there's when you are
inside, and
you
you're like,
don't just say overturn. When you have turned before
The thoughts going through your mind. The thoughts
because
going
you're not
through your
breathing for a
mind.
few seconds.
Yes.
You're not going to breathe for a few seconds. That time of not breathing is what a lot of adulting feels.
Yes.
When you're suffocating.
right, and then you think that it's over, but then there's another rapid just waiting for you round.
And you had to
The
go
corner.
through that deep
And you have
one
to go through
before
it.
you could.
It's just it
point
could be a
about
job.
breathing.
It could be your child. You like
Could
just
be
when
yourself.
yes, just when you've
It
said
could be
it.
you.
Just when you've settled like this and you know that I got this. I have
Something
like
hits you.
something comes and hits you so fast. You had no idea where it came
There are
from.
things that
now
come
your
and-
child is unwell.
Thank
You're like,
you.
But how? Why are you unwell? Then you realize, oh, that's why you went for that job interview with good money. Okay, fine. Then you help your child. Your child is fine. While you were there, your husband was not happy with you. Your friends were not happy with you. You're just like, but when
When am I getting my
this
break?
end? Then COVID comes and knocks the breath out of everybody,
Everybody.
because we don't know what's happening.
Right.
We're not in control.
We're not in control, yes. And I feel like many things happen in adulthood that we're not really in control. Yes.
Yeah.
So, what are those hacks? Those things, those tips, those things that you hold on to while you're flipped over, that you feel like have helped you walk this journey of adulthood and sort of help you navigate. Sometimes it's easier. There are now challenges that come and you're like, I know how to deal with this.
Yeah.
What are those things that have helped you?
Let me start. It's just
It's one. It's one.
one sentence, and Brian absolutely loves it. Actually, let me say this. And let me say this to my husband. When it came to adulting, my husband taught me how to adult. Nobody taught me except that man. I can see life happen to him. I can see him underwater. Nenga, he says, it will be fine. As he goes back, it won't last forever. 2 seconds of breathing.
Before he's subbed.
Then he's up, he's like, and tie up. And then when he's up, he enjoys it. Because he's like, they're rapping.
The next
It's
season.
about to come.
So here, when I'm still up, I'm breathing all the oxygen I can. Brian taught me, and I'd had it. I'd had people say it over and over again. Nothing lasts forever. There is a white light at the end of the tunnel. Everything will be fine. Until I watched Brian. Brian lives a life of it won't last forever. By the way, you
Whatever
refused
it
to
is.
give me that deal.
Next
And then
week.
you think you live, say, in that job. You think you'll die there. And I see him when the pastor says, they've sent me a message, Thingy left that job.
Let me go
Hello?
back.
Who's the new person? I'm like, and yet other people, they'll say, I stopped, I gave up, I no longer
That
got that
company.
organization. Well, Brian's just like, and Barbara is the what head of. After
Sure,
3 years,
go.
you think I'm many. Most times people leave after 3 years. So I'll go back after 3 years. So Brian, for me, taught me nothing under the sun, save for God, lasts forever.
Yeah. That's true.
That's such a lovely one. I love that so much. Nothing lasts forever. For me, it's because I'm not in control of the circumstances, I'm in control of who I am.
Right.
Maintain who you are no matter what.
Hey, babe, you're selling my answer. Anyway. Finish.
You see how I'm maintaining who I am, even though she has responded and said. but I know you believe that as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you have virtues, maintain those virtues.
Right.
If you have joy, maintain that joy. If you believe that when I wake up and read a psalm every day, it lifts me, maintain that. Even though all the children have bacterial infection,
Right.
even though this could be your last week of work, you are laid off because of COVID-19, I say this knowing that we're not in control, and sometimes the circumstances are so devastating
Right.
beyond anything. The feeble strength we have is not enough. But you know what's consistent? You said it's the word of God, his word. That's what rely on that consistency.
Right.
That is the strength you have. That's the only strength you have. I consider myself a strong woman. My strength is frail in some circumstances.
Right.
My strength is too frail. So I only rely on that. Do I do it consistently? If only I did. If only I did, I wouldn't then have emotional ups and downs.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I write a lot. I look in my diaries and I say, Lord, I was in the depths of despair this time. 2 days after, I'm saying, do you remember when I told you, look at how I'm lifted up? I'm like, God, I remember that time I didn't want to talk to you. But here I am writing how you have brought so much joy in my life. And so my writing reminds me of when I was in the tunnel of treachery and God lifted me up.
Right.
And so maintain who you are by relying on a consistency which is stronger than you. Because I'm telling you, my frailty, you don't want to be around me. I worry for myself. I worry for myself and I worry for others around me.
Yeah.
But then again, I've also learned, do you know there are others who are stronger than you?
Right.
Because I'm a strong personality, it's hard for me to conceive that there are other strong women who can be there. I'm like, I've got this God, me and the word. But God is telling me, okay, close that Bible. Let someone else come with a word of encouragement. Allow that person in.
Let someone walk with
Do you know how beautiful it is when you find that person and they walk in, they send you a message, they call you, picking you up for lunch? Or, Beverly, are you the one who trains in public speaking? We have a full week's. Do you know, those people are there.
Right.
And those will, that's how I've maintained, knowing that I can control what I can, but there's strength around me.
Right.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. So that was your answer.
Even Manuela was my answer. So anyway, I don't know what to say. But really, aside from authenticity, for me, it's one is coping mechanisms. What are those things you do that cope? I like water. So there are times when I'm overwhelmed.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel like, okay, life has come to a standstill.
Yes.
I'll find a place that has water.
Yes.
I like to listen to gospel music. So I know that even when I'm angry or something, I'll listen, I'll calm down. I like to read. And then I like to have intelligent conversations.
Yeah.
I like to dine in fancy restaurants. So whether it's with friends or alone. So those are the things that I feel help me when life seems confusing. Especially when people do things and you have no control over it. And you're like, but where is that person? How can someone do something so bad? I just moved to one of my coping mechanisms. Each one of us has. We might not be cognizant of them, but each one of us has a coping mechanism.
I don't know, but my coping mechanism, like in the
some people
in
hide.
the midst of
they're like
this,
they go and lock themselves in the bedroom until they've sorted themselves out, then they come out. But I feel like each one of us has a coping mechanism.
You may have it. I dance quite a bit.
I know I have a coping mechanism. It's just that when I'm done and I get out, I see the problem.
Oh, you see
looking straight at me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like every time I think, oh, let me go and swim, or let me go by the water, or let me go, I'm just like, but it's so temporary. I really need to deal with what I'm going through.
Then you bring me to the next one.
Okay.
Where are you anchored?
Yes.
I know that I am anchored in God.
Yes.
And there are times I go back and something has happened and I go and say, so you have seen what that your child has done.
Right.
Or you have seen the situation we're in. You may have no control. I bring it back to you. You're the one who sent me on that assignment to do that business or to what I have done it and this is where I am. How do I proceed or what do I do?
Yeah.
Usually there's a way for you to come out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you said, someone will come to you with a solution.
Yes.
or wisdom will drop.
Yes.
Yes. So and as a mother, I feel like the biggest legacy I can give my children is to be anchored.
Yeah.
Like
where
what
they're
is
anchored.
holding your
That's
ship,
true.
to be anchored in God.
Yes.
Right.
So I try, even when they come and say, oh, mommy, this is going well for you. I'm like, because God, you know,
Yes.
I try to push it. Right now, it may look like her mom is always talking about
Always
God.
talking about.
When they are adults,
Yeah,
they
they'll
will
get it.
remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you see, the thing about adulting is that you get out of the coverage of a person bigger than you, right?
Yes. Yes.
But I find that at the point when I'm most adulting is when I need the most coverage,
Yes.
the most cover.
Yes.
And I've realized that one of the things that I've done, like, because I very recently went through something that, I was like, wow, Lord, wow. I remember just going and saying, I've left it.
Yes.
Every time it comes, I said, God, I said I left it to you. I'm not going to
Yes.
think about it. I'm not going to even try to draw any wisdom from it. I'm not going to look for someone to help me to solve
Yes.
it. Lord, I'm in trouble.
Yes.
Yeah? I've left it there for you. I'm not going to fast. I'm not going to pray. I've surrendered it. And you said I leave it for you at the cross. Where's I've left it there for you. I've given you babe.
Come and pick it yourself, and you come and pick
I
it
cannot
yourself.
have the babe anymore.
I've left it there. I'm
Yeah.
not going to think about it. I'm not going to. I've also found that has helped me a
Yes.
lot for those of us who even coping mechanisms don't just surrendering it. Do you know how you live there like a child? You've seen a child when they have a problem, they will throw the glass there.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are hot, they just then they can't just throw themselves at you. That's exactly what I do. I'm not going to touch it. I'm annoyed. I've left it there. I'm not going to. I've left it there. And every time that thought comes to me again, I said I left it.
Yes.
There,
There it is.
I'm not touching it.
My last one, and I think which as women, we really need to adopt self-preservation.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Look at a situation and say, this one is going to make me lose my temper. This one is going to
Yes.
this one is going to steal my peace.
Yes, yes.
Extract yourself from
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
completely. I
Right.
think we need to get into that mode to have peace.
Right.
Because now we're seeing many women are getting all sorts of diseases that used to be for men,
Yes.
because men are built to carry
Yeah.
stress. So now the women are having the autoimmune diseases. They're having the cancers. They're
Yes.
having the arthritis. They're having, and most of them are just stress-related diseases.
Right.
The woman in the home will wake up in the morning, quarrel with her husband in the bedroom.
Right.
Get out, quarrel with the maid. Then the children. Then the border guy on the way. Then enter her office, and as she's walking in, just the sound of her high heels, people sit straight
Yes.
on their desks because they know fire has
Yes.
come. You can't have peace.
Right.
What
Can
I
we find
yes.
peace as women?
Right.
You know, we need to do less. We think doing more will give us that peace. Do less, learn to say no, say it graciously and mean it. It's not easy when you're in a culture where yes means you are noble, where yes means you are
You're
faithful,
weak.
you're
You're a good
loyal.
person.
Yes, you're a good
Yes,
person.
and
You're
reliable.
You're loyal.
To be good people,
You're loyal to the
Bambi.
workplace and you're loyal to the church. You're actually being disloyal to God. When you keep saying yes, you're abandoning yourself. By saying yes to so many things, you're saying no to yourself. I learned that the hard way, being an energized person who said yes all the time because I was available, because I could.
And you had
And I had to
energy.
reverse all of that. I had a lot of energy to give. I had to reverse it. And when you have children, you realize by saying yes to many things, you're abandoning yourself as a mother, you're abandoning yourself as a wife.
Right.
Say no, say it graciously, and mean it, and have reasons. The more you practice saying no, the better your life will be. And that is it. There will be an air around you which is confident, and people will understand this is where Bev's life is. I appreciate it. I want to learn from it.
Right.
And I believe that while we're adults, maintain a childlike faith. You touched on it. The Bible says, let the little children come to me. Come like that in your faith. So don't lose that. I like to play. If there's a park and there's a swing, I will swing.
Right.
If there's a swimming pool and women don't want to swim, I will swim.
Right.
I don't want to lose that. I want to
That's
maintain
so
being responsible
powerful.
and accountable.
Yeah.
But I want to have my childlike faith. I want to play. I want to swim.
Can
I
we
have-
just play?
Can't we just play? Dodgeball. I play volleyball with the children. If there's a swing and there's a park, I will swing. If there were a party and there's a swimming pool, no woman wants to swim, I will swim.
Right.
Because I don't want to lose that.
Wow.
And for me, maintaining who I am is what builds where I want to go. I
Right.
cannot be successful if I'm pretending to be like other people. I can't.
Right.
I've tried it, it doesn't work.
Right.
But because I am working on being so financially empowered, it's being rooted because I've maintained who I am. So the tree knows where it's going. You can plant a sesame seed and you want a mango fruit. No.
Not at all.
The seed has to bear witness to the fruit it wants to be.
Right.
And that's where I am now. So I'm learning to say no graciously, and it's all right.
Yeah.
And by doing so, you save other people as well.
Right.
You save other people to learn to say no graciously.
I want Barbara to share something that she shared with me recently about saying no.
Yeah.
Have you remembered the conversation we had? You've not remembered? No. Okay, so this is what happened. So I don't remember what happened exactly, but I think you called me and I couldn't pick. Then when I picked up, I was trying to explain. You told me, Manila, please, don't explain. Next time, when I say, so why did you pick my call? You just say,
I was unable.
Yes, I was unable, yes.
You don't even have to say, now you see, I was with the children.
You don't owe everything an
No, you
explanation.
explain that thing properly now.
Okay. So it was, somebody wanted to give Manuela a gig, but the money was less than what it should have. So she sent a
whole reason.
like, you know those WhatsApp messages that have read more.
Read more, and then read more.
She sent a read more on why she was not going to take the job because the money
They kept
was not enough.
insisting. So I thought I needed to explain
So
myself.
after sending the message, she gets a call at 6 o'clock in the morning from the
From
guy.
that same person.
Yes.
After I read more.
PS
Boundaries,
just sent a read
please.
more. Thank
Boundaries,
you. I forgot
please.
about boundaries.
6 a.m.
Yeah. So then she responds and says, "Hi, I'm sorry, I could not answer. I couldn't pick your call because I was getting my children ready for school, and I don't know what. And maybe my husband's sandwich for work." I looked at her. I said,
Hey, Papa, you can phone. But it's okay. It's okay. So I think I do sandwich for Mr. Amnon.
Yeah. So I looked at her message and I said, "Why are you explaining many things?"
Right.
I feel like we don't have to explain our decisions.
Right.
So I said, Manuela, sometimes you won't be able to answer calls, and which I do. Sometimes you'll call me, and if I can't answer, when I finally can talk, you'll call and say, "I called you, I sent a message," I said, "I was not able to pick."
Yes.
Or I couldn't talk at that time.
Yes.
You were saying?
Yeah, but I'm here now.
Yes, you're here now.
I don't have to tell you I was in a meeting, there was a board, I don't know what, I couldn't
thank
talk,
you.
or I was doing work. Because there are times you need to sit on your laptop, do all your work, and without phone calls.
Right.
Even
I
if you
don't
are
owe
laying
you.
on your couch in silence,
Yes.
that's all right.
So I think one of the things for adulthood
Yes.
is we need to stop explaining
Yes.
decisions first of all,
Yes.
especially if we've
Because then you
owned
get
it.
judged for those
You
decisions.
get judged for it. We need to start making statements like, "I was unable, but here I am right now." Or, I sent you a WhatsApp message and you didn't respond. "Oh, I had no answer, but I have an answer now."
Yes.
I feel
And
like
that's
it will make
all
our
right.
lives so
Right.
easy.
And it's all right.
Right.
Yes.
You see why
Be gracious
you see why I said she needs to say it?
Also, when you
It comes out so
over-explain,
well from
you
her.
catch yourself in a lie.
Right.
When you over-explain something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like you're grappling with need for their validation as well. You may not
Yes.
realize it, but you're
Them
giving
to
them so much
understand.
power.
Yes, yes.
You're giving them
Yes,
too much power,
yes.
too much energy, and articulating.
Yes. And many
Yeah.
times we feel we need to be validated by certain people. We need to belong. People,
Yeah.
the sense of belonging
Yeah.
has made us make so many mistakes, get into so many wrong decisions.
Right.
But if you make a choice
Yes.
and you own your choice,
Own the choice.
then you don't
Right.
need to explain to me.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't. If I ask, "Oh, I like your hair," but
Yes.
how come it's natural? You're like, "I like it natural." And that's
That's it.
You don't have to tell
Yeah.
me it's thick. And then when the chemicals they
Yeah.
burn my hair,
Exactly.
just say, "I like my
Natural
hair,"
hair.
and let's
And
move
that's
on.
all right.
And that's what will you do now? And
Yes.
that's why I like it.
I like
Yes.
it.
Because now if you start saying, because I feel like many times when you find explanations, when you following that conversation, I realize that now when you find explanations, you give someone an opportunity to rebuttal.
Yes.
Yes.
No, what do you mean natural hair? I said,
Yes.
no. Even if you have treated hair, you can do it. Now you've entered an argument that you didn't need to enter in the first place.
Yeah.
So why did you buy that car?
Yes.
Because I like it.
Thank you. Those cars
You're
have no
not,
resale
so you're
value.
not, you're not there in, it has a good resale value, good
Yes.
fuel, good, you're
I
like,
like
because I
it.
like it.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Why did you choose to stay in Kololo? It's so
Yes.
expensive. I like it.
Yes.
Like, do I need to? Like, it saves you a lot of nonsense.
And
as well.
we can redirect our energy to things that are more useful and
Right.
valuable and long term.
Right.
And yes,
Right.
definitely.
Anyway, adulting is not only hard. It's not only tough. There's some good things about adulting.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a bit of financial independence. You're
Yes.
earning money.
Katinga,
you
you're
can-
finishing the answers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kidding. They're good.
Because you took hers, remember?
Both of you, please, not only her. But there are good things about adulting. You
Right.
get to marry the love of your life. You know, they're good things.
Right.
What lessons has adulting taught you?
Interestingly, my favorite times in my entire life was when I was 10 and below, and in my and in my 40s.
Yes.
Right.
In between that teenager 20s and 30s, I was still gaining momentum. When I was 10 and below, I had childlike faith, and I believed that my dad and mom would give me anything because consistently they had been doing so.
Right.
And we're living in London where everything was there. We never lacked. What do you mean no water, no electricity? What do you mean boiling water to drink? Can we drink from the tap? And in my 40s, I've acquired that same childlike faith, boldly asking. Maybe it's because you grew as a Christian, but also asking from people. When I have clients, I'm boldly able to ask this in a contract or to politely say no. People constantly ask me because they know I'm able to produce. Join this organization, join this volunteer. I get those requests a lot, especially now that they see me on Bump Love. It has expounded, all right?
Your visibility.
Yes. But I'm gracious to say no because I know that's not where my journey is taking me.
Right.
And when you say no with grace and dignity, the conversation with that person can continue.
Right.
And then you find you're offering more value to the other person. The person thinks I'm only valuable because I'm able to speak. But when I say no, our conversation, our relationship can grow and they're able to realize I'm valuable in other areas in their life. Maybe even to speak into their life. I don't always have to come as a speaker or a writer. I can add other value.
Right.
But you won't know that if you're always saying yes.
Right.
And so in my 40s right now, and 10 and below has been the best years. As an adult, I've combined that experience with now, even unknowingly, even subconsciously, I'm aware that I'm holding on to principles and the loves that I had 10 and below with now.
Right.
And I hope that I'm passing out onto my children.
Right.
Maintaining who I am. You people, I will skip, laugh. The way I am with my friends is how I am with my children. There are no surprises at all. I skip, laugh, play, everything. Or I shut the door and say, this is mommy's time. Be there, that's daddy with you, it's me. Just as I say no to some friends when it's not the right time. And because of that, they're also receiving a boldness when they come to me because they know mommy is consistent in who she is. And I want that for them. In other words, make it an organic experience. Let them not walk on eggshells. Let them know you are consistent in who you are, in who the values are, what the values are. And Emmanuel and I share the same parenting values as well. And so that's what it is, really.
I've learned that life is cycles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life is cycles, and many times if you don't learn the lesson of a particular cycle, you have to learn it in the next.
You are coming back to that place.
Retake, what is it called?
Yeah, a retake. Yes,
Yes.
we will take a retake. And I've learned in this adulting journey that we have one life. We are going to be held accountable at the end of this one life. We have to make this one life count. So you don't want to spend time, or you don't want to waste time learning the same lesson more than once. My biggest lesson in this adulting journey is that for every cycle, there is a lesson. Be promoted to the next one, because when you are promoted is when you enjoy it the most.
When you already learned.
When you've already learned, that's when life, that's when you start to enjoy the journey, even the ups and the downs. Like you now, it's life, like you've said. Yeah, adulting has its things. You're there, you're wonderful, then Efris comes. You're like, but now Efris, I had just managed, I had just learned how to do my accounting for my business. Now, you where have you come from? But adulting tells you, learn it. Why?
We shall also learn this.
If you don't, another thing is coming for you next time. So I've learned to enjoy each season, each cycle of my life. Take the lesson because you need it for the next.
Yes, you do.
And if you don't learn, it will come back and bite you. But I must share something though. I witnessed you entering your 30th birthday and your 40th. I mean, we've been friends for a while. You people, Beverly, I was, every time she's going to the 30s, like that,
decade
that
yes.
decade, Beverly makes you feel jealous. She's like, you guys, I'm turning 40. How old are you? 20? Oh my God. Do you know life? You don't know life. Me, I know life. You know, and if anything, Bev has made me look forward to the decades, to the cycles. Because I keep telling what I said, I'm like, it looks there's something there. And the thing about Bev is she really shares. So she comes in, she's like, guys, the 30s are beautiful. You're 20, eh? I'm telling you, life, it has begun. And I remember when she turned 40, she came, she told us, guys, 40 is the new 20. I feel like 20. I don't know what age is. Look at me. She was bending. She was like, babe. And I to be able to come. 40-year-olds are sitting with their legs like this. What do you mean you're excited? So I feel that for me, what that has shown me is indeed life is cycles.
Yes. Yeah.
And you need to go with the lessons of every cycle. People. Anyway, life is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is.
Life is
Absolutely.
beautiful with its ups and
Yes.
its downs.
Yes.
Life is
Yes.
beautiful.
Awesome. My biggest, there are two, but the biggest is my choices are very important.
Oh,
I feel like
my God,
adulting,
yes.
every morning you wake up and you have 3 critical choices and they change every day.
Right.
But I feel like adulting is choices, and your choices affect where you are currently. My choices today are a reflection or a result of
Choices.
my situation today. It's choices I made yesterday, even 5 years ago. You know?
True.
So I feel like it's a maze. Have you ever tried to play a maze? Like there's an animal you're supposed to get to, and you start from
it's almost
somewhere.
impossible to reach.
And there are like 15,000 lines to get there.
Yes.
Then while you feel like you're on that journey, you take a wrong turn. Now you come back
To the beginning.
Thank you. So I feel like one wrong choice can take you back 5 years and you lose everything you've worked for, and then you start the journey again. So I've learned to be very careful with my choices, to seek wisdom, but also be slow.
Yes.
I'll
Take your time.
I would rather take my time
Than make a wrong
look like
decision.
I am too slow than make a wrong decision. Because that maze, I'll go back to where it starts
because
from.
you're in a rush.
Because of the wrong, the wrong choice. The other is really we have no control over people.
Oh, yeah.
However nice I am to you, Manuela,
Exactly.
and I do everything within my power to be a good friend, a kind
That's
friend,
so
a
true.
loving friend, it still does not
guarantee.
It doesn't guarantee me that you're going to be nice to me. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to be a loyal friend. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to do what you're supposed to do as a friend.
Right.
So because we have no control over people,
Right.
I feel like my disappointment in people is a bit less these days. I'm sorry, there's no better way to put it. But my expectations are lower.
You manage them.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, look, we're all human beings. If you surprise me, and you do what you're supposed to do, and you're kind, and you're what, and it's a bonus. And it's really nice. But I just know we have no control.
We have no control.
We have no control over people and their actions and we just really never know what people's intentions are in their hearts. And it's the thing. Somebody sang a song about it once and said, God played a trick on us by hiding the heart. I mean, we can see everything else about people, but the brain and the heart we can't. So I can't tell whether you're smiling with me means you actually have good intentions for me. But just to expect and know that we have no control. People will still be people and they'll still do what they want to do. So I remain authentic, do my part, do what I am supposed to do as a person, and leave you.
A wise person said, the word says we reap what we sow, not where we sow. And that was the proprietor of Arija fashions, which we're wearing. She said, you reap what you sow. If you sow kindness in someone and they don't reciprocate, the kindness shall return from someone else. Because the seed was sown. And may I just say, just look at this Cleopatra beauty and Marilyn Monroe beauty. I just said, there is something. What are they giving? Cleopatra beauty, Marilyn Monroe beauty. That's what it is. I was looking at you, I was like, there's something. There's something. I got it. I just had to tell. You had to say I had to let them know. You are giving it. You're giving it. Yes.
Thank you.
Well, I remember someone in one of the comment section said, she gives She gives, well, as Michelle Obama, talking about Michelle Obama vibes, I was like, wow. Wow. No, not Michelle Obama. Oprah Winfrey vibes. I'm like, wow. So, yes, ma'am. Some Oprah
Yes,
Winfrey
Oprah.
over to you there.
Right.
You know, you make such a powerful, when you think about people,
Yes.
even what you consider kind might not be what they consider kind.
yes.
Absolutely.
We bring 3 bunches of
Yes.
matoke.
Is
When they wanted
kindness.
one small chicken.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They just needed a phone call from you. Now you're expecting them to bring you 3 branches, then they call you. They think in their mind,
Yeah.
they have been
given-
kind.
I spoke to her for an
I
hour on
spoke
the
to her for an hour
phone.
for the phone. Meanwhile,
I took
Baba
my
is just
lunch
like,
break.
"Babe,
God, I brought
what do I
matoke."
brought matoke? I told her I'm hungry. She has a farm of matoke there, and she
Give
hasn't
me
given
her time.
She's talking to
What
me
is
the whole
time?
hour.
Yeah.
What is time? So your considerations, like, so even for me, when it comes to people, in terms of that life lesson, because indeed that's a life lesson, finally understood why God says don't judge. Don't judge. Don't say now this one was right, this one was wrong. I no longer have the capacity to say you were right and you were wrong. Why? Because again, I didn't even know your intentions. So what if you kept quiet during an altercation
Yes.
because you knew you might say something wrong?
Yes.
And then somebody else is saying, but why didn't she repeat?
She's
That
proud.
means she's proud. That means she meant it.
She doesn't care.
No,
Yes.
she doesn't care. But what if it was because of a whole other reason?
Yes.
So because of that, now I've learned in this adulting journey, please, you judge yourself. Say to what I'm doing now, where is it coming from? Is it from a good and pure place? And be ready for the fact that somebody else might not see it like that. And you can't go and explain to them, but I kept quiet because I feared that I would say something wrong, But then they'll tell you, no, you just didn't care. You're like, but no, I just thought I would say something wrong. And you have to be ready with the fact that the other adult might not understand you, because for them in their minds, this is how life should be. I've rescued myself
Yes.
from the notion that this is how life should be, this is how people should act. I've left that.
Yes.
Why? Because, again, I don't know people's hearts.
Yes.
And where they are coming from, it might be from a very pure place, even probably purer than mine.
Yes.
Yeah? And so when we go before God, God will judge me. I'm there, I'm telling God, hey, God,
Didn't you see what she
what she
did?
did? And God is like, no. You are being
Her heart.
judged. Her heart.
Yes.
No wonder
And
it.
in the Bible, actually, yes, it says God looks at the heart.
Heart,
He
yes.
looks at
The heart.
Yes.
So for me, in adulting, when you talked about that lesson, I was just like, I have to say something about that.
It was
Lovely.
burning.
Yeah.
So we're all mothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we all have children. What advice would you give to your 17-year-old daughter about adulting? Now that you've tasted
Yes.
and seen,
I'll tell myself there'll be pressure to try and be other people.
Right.
Remain who you are, because when you remain who you are, you're then able to help other people remain who they are.
Right.
They know whom they're going to. I'm going to Beverly, who is this. Otherwise, they'll be like, we don't know who she is today. She's giving off Beverly, but also I see a bit of Sandra and Antonia, you
Right.
see? So I would say, despite the pressure to be somebody else, and in adolescence, it really heightens, doesn't it? Maintain who you are, no matter how difficult. Because 5 years' time, you'll be grateful you maintained who you are, because all those people trying to be like others will be lost, and they'll be coming to you who was still anchored and found.
awesome. Do you need a minute?
No, no. No, I was just in a place of, okay, so I just feel like mine is going to so contradict Bev's, but
Oh,
let's
no,
do
go
this.
ahead.
I mean, I've
Let's go.
always known, like, I remember my 17-year-old self, and I had no idea who I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just, you move around every day with a dream of who you
Yeah.
want to be,
Yeah.
never knowing who you are.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like if I went back to my 17-year-old self, I would tell her half the time of dreaming and put some into your now. Like into
Dream,
the-
but-
dream,
yes,
but first
come
come
back on
out,
earth.
come back
So be
home,
on
yeah.
earth.
Yeah, be here on earth.
As you
because
dream.
as you dream, yeah, because I feel like, and okay, I guess it's also because of what we're going through at home.
Yes. Oh.
So you kind of had no alternative but to look to the future and look to a brighter future. One day
and
you'll
promise
be
yourself
driving
that
around.
one day,
One
one day
day.
I will be.
Yes.
But I
Oh,
needed to
okay.
find out who I was at that 17,
Yes.
like who am I? Because I realized that getting into this adulting phase, I remember there was a time in my life that I thought maybe to navigate this, I need to be this kind of person. So I tried to be that person. Maybe to navigate this type, maybe I need to go back to the other Manuela, then I try and navigate this. Then I saw Barbara. Barbara manages money well. So I think to manage money, now let me be like Barbara. Now I want to be confident. Now let me try and be like Beverly. Now I want to do this. I want to do that. So I feel that, unfortunately, the way life happens is you can't know who you are until you experience life.
Yes.
And at 17, what have you seen?
What is life?
What is life? What do you know? So if I were to go back to my 17-year-old self, I'll tell her, experience life. Experience life in its fullness. These things of dreaming, it's beautiful, but come and experience now.
Yes.
Where are you now? You're in a place where your hormones are raging and you like 4 boys. And now, maybe I'm being honest.
It is true.
It's true. And now you're looking at all of them and saying, but which of them will be rich in life, so that I know that is the one who will be my...
The one with the helicopter.
The one with the helicopter. Who can rent helicopter for 4.5 million.
And after that, get into a
Thank you very much. So I felt like the whole time, every experience that I got, I started to look at what I used to project what it would look like in the future, instead of just enjoying it in that moment.
So you allowed yourself to dream.
I allowed myself to dream. It's good.
It's good.
No doubt.
To believe and to...
I believe that it's also why I am here. Yeah. But you see, I don't remember my 17-year-old life right now. I don't know that life. I don't remember, because the whole time she was dreaming of this Manuela. So now this Manuela is here, and she's like, Mosi, who was that?
I remember mine so well, but
I
that's
don't.
Great.
I absolutely don't.
But I think that was powerful as well in its own way, you know what I mean?
Of course,
no,
absolutely. It does have its power, but if you ask me what would I tell myself, I'll say, dear, you're going to reach an adult, and you're going to ask yourself, who was I at 17? And you won't remember her. Yeah. So I'll tell her, remember this one, so that when she gets to here, she can be like, yeah, at 18, wow. I was. Wow.
Sit down and I tell you.
Sit down and I tell you what I was at 17. Yeah.
I was writing a lot of poetry at 17.
Right.
In school, a lot.
Wow. Right.
I always knew I wanted to be a writer.
Right.
And at the same time, I love that your 17-year-old self would dream, because I also want to tell people dream. So I love that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
The dreaming and the believing.
Let's we're going to contradict
it. No, it's not really. It's not. It's just beautiful. Because that's a wonderful experience that you said it has shaped the decisions you've made today.
And where you are
big decisions.
Yeah.
So dream. Let the teenagers.
I think you also built your dreaming muscle.
My dream muscle is huge. You people, I walk in my dreams. Like when I wake up, like you see me driving, because I remember like the first car I bought. That car, I was dreaming about the one I have now. Yes. But you see, I didn't enjoy that car. Yes.
But also, let's say the name of the car, please. Because people start small. Manuela's first car was a BMW.
No. Was it like that? No.
BMW X1. Because I remember she came and told me, I want to X3. I want to buy a car. No. My car. And I said, okay. I thought she was going to say some Toyota something, some modest car. When she said, my jaw dropped. Now
I started
show me that day I went to meet her for lunch, and I was screaming in the park. I was like, is this the one? Is this the one? Because, so anyway.
But if you've been dreaming from a teenage life, you will have that car. So if
Manuela's first car was other post 6th and 5th cars.
No, because I'm such a dreamer.
Yeah. Good.
By the time I knew what color I wanted, what one. Even the husband I have, only the 6-pack, but the rest.
But he's working on it. When
I met him, Mr. Mundo had 6-pack. So he was, I don't know, this marriage thing. I think maybe
they become pregnant with us.
Stop the sandwiches. Lord. Anyway.
Have you heard they become pregnant with us?
I think what I would tell my 17-year-old self, going back, is one day at a time. Live one day at a time. Don't think 5 years from today always. It's good to think into the future, but have those times. Have your moments when you set your goals. Have your moments when you set your plans, when you plan and one. Please leave them there. Don't live every day thinking,
Tomorrow.
the girls are going to university, I need to build a bigger house.
Yes.
So my next car, because you miss out on what's happening.
I agree.
When I'm going through difficult seasons, I literally tick off each day. Wednesday 8th, I tick. We're done with that one, and I move to the next day. So I feel like it's one of the things that helps.
Progress,
but one day at a time. Wake up in the morning, say, today is Friday. Okay, I will go through Friday. So my 17-year-old self, I would say live one day at a time, and let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Another thing I would tell my 17-year-old self is enjoy having someone you report to, someone you're accountable to.
Yes.
Enjoy the fact that you have food that comes on your table without you knowing
You don't even know where it comes from.
You have school fees, you have clothes, you have someone who cares for you, an adult who cares for you. Enjoy it.
Yes.
Because a time is coming when you wish you could hear the sound of your mother, but you know you can't call her for every decision. You can't tell her, should I do this one? Should I shout at this one? Should I? You wish you had, because at the point when you're under your parents' roof, they literally tell you everything to do. And most times they're quarreling. How many times will I tell you, can't you just call that person and tell them no?
Let me call.
Let me call. Bring that phone here. Let me call for you. You understand? Why are you wearing that dress? That dress looks so bad. That color is not so good on you. Those things that you hate that your parents are doing, you find that as you grow, now you're there in the mirror. Is this thing, wow, where is it? Nice. Oh, how does my bum look? Wow, how about this pimple? Now a parent is, you have a pimple, come we go to hospital. Come and we got put this. You know, that goes. And you don't know whether you're making the right decision. So I'll tell her, by the way, enjoy your mom. Enjoy her being in your life. Enjoy her telling you what to do. Enjoy her forcing her life on you. Enjoy it, because a time is coming
When you want. And some of us have lost a parent. I lost my dad, but I still have tidbits of wisdom he gave now that help me make some decisions. But there are times I'm like, I wish I could just call him. He would have the exact answer, the exact response, or sometimes even just encouragement, because he was really an encourager. You know, he gave you confidence in that, you'll be fine. He was the brand of, it will pass. Yes. So even for us who don't have our parents now, if at 17 he was still alive, I would have just grappled, enjoyed his presence.
And those without parents, where can they turn to? Because some people have lived without parents,
for a
and
long
their guardians
time.
maybe were not able to anchor themselves in their lives. So what do they do then? Because everyone does need that cover. Where do they find their parental cover? And God is always there, but how do they know, how do they experience the physical presence of God?
People,
So he'll work through people. We have to understand, and God in his mercy will help them understand, this is the person whom I'm going to use to share motherhood with you, to share fatherhood with you. Because God is the ultimate parent, isn't he? Even us whose parents may still be alive, we know that God is the ultimate parent who advises, because he's consistent in his love. And he has all the resources always available. And so may those who do not have parents understand that in as much as possible, that the physical manifestation of their parents will come through other people by God's wonderful grace.
I agree.
Ladies, we have adulted for a whole hour. Thank you for sharing your insights, your stories. Adults that are watching, thank you for staying till the end. Please share your comments, share your stories. We want to hear, what are your experiences? What are those hacks? What are those lessons? And what advice would you also give? There'll be some 17-year-olds. I know my daughters are watching. There'll be some 17-year-olds watching. Please share your advice. Big thank you to the team, the glam team that makes sure we look as lovely. Cleopatra?
My
Cleopatra Beauty, the Oprah Beauty, the Marilyn Monroe Beauty. I'd like to say a big thank you to Tina Brow, the Sununu Effect, Nisky for the makeup, Zuri Luxury for hair, Arija Fashions and Cadia Fashions for the clothes. Till next week, ta-da!
Bye-bye.